Hello and welcome to this course on Microsoft Azure Fundamentals. So to start with, you don't need to know anything about Microsoft Azure. In this course, we're going to start at the very beginning and work our way through to the end. But how far do we need to go in this course? Well, I'm taking the cue from Microsoft. Microsoft have a range of exams, the AZ exams, and you can see that these exams are for developers, they're for administrators, they're for solution architects, and you can get very deep into all of these exams. They're more advanced level courses. You can see they're generally marked as intermediate or advanced. In this course, we're going to start right at the very beginning, and this is a beginner level course for AZ-900. So what's going to be in this course? Well, what I'm going to be doing is following the requirements of this particular certification. So you can see by the end of this course, you will have foundational knowledge of cloud services and how those services are provided with Microsoft Azure. So this is ideal for you if you want to work in the cloud or just want to know more about it. Now, I'm not allowed to show you any of the exam questions, and according to the non-disclosure agreement, I'm not allowed to provide you access to disclosing, distribution, copying, photocopying, and so on. So how am I able to give you the particular level of this course? Well, I'm using a service called measurup.com. Measurup.com is the official host of Microsoft practice exams, and so for the AZ-900 there is a practice test for that. So this allows me to see what level you should have to get to this particular certification. In reality, it's actually a fair bit higher than I thought I was going to have to teach for this particular course, so it's been very useful. So what skills do you need to have for this exam? Well, we can go down and have a look at the skills measured, and you can see we've got describe cloud concepts, core Azure services, core solutions and management tools, general security and network security, identity, governance, privacy and compliance, and Azure cost management and service level agreements. That's very fine in theory, but what is it specifically? Well, we can go to the download exam skills outline, and we can see each of the currently 66 different skills that you need. So for example, the describe cloud concepts has been divided up into around 13 different activities. Core Azure services, you'll be looking at things like regions and region pairs, availability zones, subscriptions, management groups. And then there is a bit of a detailed section about virtual machines, app services, each of these individual services that are available. Now, it is possible to teach this by going right at the beginning and then going to the end and stop, but I've found that that may not be the most interesting way, and what I want to do in this course as much as possible is to have a bit of a hands-on presentation. So there are notes, there are PowerPoint presentation, there's a PDF you can download with the text of this presentation surrounding what I'm teaching in this course, but it's much more interesting if I'm actually, as far as possible, able to do a fair bit of this. So what I'm going to do to start off with, first of all, we're going to get a free trial for Azure. So in other words, you can have a look at Azure without this costing you any money. And you'll also get around a $200 credit. And if you keep an eye on the costs, then going through this course shouldn't cost you a single penny in Azure. It cost me about $10, $15 worth of credit. So it didn't cost me a single cent. Now, I should point out, make sure you delete any services once you've finished with them, and I'm afraid I'm not responsible for any of the spend that you might have. So what I'm going to do is create a virtual machine after signing up for Azure. And to show that you can create a virtual machine, you can log into it, you can do what you want, and then you can delete it. And then we'll create the virtual machine a lot more slowly. And the reason for this is that we can then look at the individual core Azure architectural components that I've just skipped over while creating the virtual machine quickly. So we'll have a video for each of these individual items covering the information you need to know. for the AZ-900 exam. I'll also be pulling in some bits from elsewhere. For instance, I described the functionality and use of tags fairly early. After that, we'll have a look at the cost management. So we'll be looking at ways of managing and planning costs. So we can see how much this virtual machine would cost me. And we'll have a look at the service level agreements. And again, we'll have a look at that with the context of this virtual machine. And then after that, we'll largely start right at the beginning, having now got a good groundwork of what Azure is, start at the beginning and go through to the end, skipping over those things we have already looked at. So this is the curriculum for the course, and you can see that there are numbers right at the beginning of quite a lot of these videos. So what I have done, I have taken this requirements, and you should note this list is not definitive or exhaustive, but it's a good idea of the requirements. So I've taken these requirements and I've given them a number. So when you look at the curriculum for the course, you can see that I have used these individual numbers. So management groups, for instance, is number 19. So if I scroll down, you can see describe the benefits and use of management groups. And this way you can be sure that you are learning the concepts that you need for the AZ-900 exam. And you can download a copy of this document from the resources section, which is coming up very shortly in this course. So I hope this describes to you the approach that I've taken in designing this curriculum. In the next video, I'm going to show you why this course is a bit different from all of the other non-Azure courses that I've made. And that is because this course is a mashup.